is to show the outcome of what happened to these businesses. Because I got it a few times, or I was on the blacklist. People sent me emails like, whatever happened to these companies at the end of the day that you said that were committing all this fraud? Well, they went out of business. That's what happened. As I told you before, that Partay's site has no activity on it for 2 years. It's an abandoned site. It still can be taken to court because basically the site is still active and shopping carts are still open for people to make purchases. Again, as I said before, anybody purchasing anything from that site, you've got a potential lawsuit because you can't back up the gain range because it's a non-existing product or non-existing part of the screen paint that it claims it can do. So you can literally get them from small claims court for that, which we are taking to court and we're challenging him. Now, as for Jamie made it sound like he was going off on a soft note as he claimed moving on to bigger and better things, which is another video too that went missing. Moving on to bigger and better things is where Jamie in the video talks about how he's leaving the business and he's not going to be doing with it anymore, and he started a 3D printing business. Yeah, a 3D printing business that involved ripping off major companies and stealing from them. That type of 3D printing business. So Jamie's business has had all types of issues and problems. One of the bigger problems that he had was the fact that the screen paints that he was selling were nothing more than just house paint. There was nothing special about these paints. He was using a high-powered projector in demonstrations, dark environments to manipulate the environment, to manipulate contrast, manipulate colors. So he can go in and say, hey, this is what you're going to get when you buy from me. Sad thing about it is many of his customers did not get exactly as Jamie promised, and their screens were washing out at a horrible rate. There's a fellow who in the demonstration clear, you can see he's trying to watch a soccer game off the screen. He has a very high-powered projector, and he can't read it. The screen is completely unwatchable. It's unrecognizable. You can't even see the screen at all. There's another demonstration with a ViewSonic short throw, another high-end projector on top of a rooftop. It wasn't even sunny out there. It was pretty much dusk till dawn. Really not a lot of light out there, but still the screen was really poorly washed out. There are a couple of people going through some incidents with this product. There's a church where clearly you can see that in the statement in the video where he was stating that it would look better once you calibrate it. They're in the dark, and you're talking about calibrating the screen in the dark. It's not even in its full natural lighting, which you asked the minister, was the area well lit? And the minister replied back, no, because you can't even see the fire exits. They're dark in the area, which they're not supposed to be. The area's not really full lit. So being in a dark environment, talking about calibrating, once you calibrate the screen look better. If you can't get a screen to look better in the dark, that is pretty bad. That's extremely bad. Stealing images off of Google. He's actually going on to Google, taking high definition pictures, added it to his website, made claims this is how my product really looks. Complete lies. And we were able to bust him and all this stuff to begin with, and all this stuff is actually on the blacklist. So the things we have on the blacklist and things we posted about Fernando, we can use against him in court. Stuff he's posted about us by saying our projects are fraudulent, don't work, and they're scams. He can't back this up in court. It's the reason why he's going to end up going to court on statements that he made, which again, because he found out about something he confessed about, he's going to have a very difficult time making it to those court hearings, which are going to lead to bench warrants. But if he could make it, he's still going to have an issue, and the other ones who are not going to have the same issue he's going to have are going to find themselves sitting in a courtroom, because you're going to have to say the product didn't work. As you claim you had done demonstrations or reviews on it, which you've never owned the product, you're going to have a real difficult time. These lawsuits are extremely hefty, and the jail time is also very hefty if you basically are being sued by our company on this whole topic. Anyway, getting back to this guy. So I shot a short video, and this is a longer video showing you a little more in depth on this guy's failed business. Even AI has recognized him. AI has recognized this individual, because we're not the only ones who file complaints against Fernando. There's over 1,000 people file complaints against him. There are people that complain that the UV mix was coming up too dark. We know that from the door. We tested that stuff. The Frankenstein was coming up too dark. It was unwatchable. There's a guy who basically did a review on the UV mix and said that the UV mix was coming up too dark, and he really didn't recognize the difference between that and the paint he had in his basement. So this shutdown site right here we have is Crow 1176, and this is his Facebook channel. His Facebook channel, basically he just blocked us from the Facebook channel because again, My buddy's going to go in his computer and see if he can get access to the site. But chances are he locked the site, because this is what he usually does. If there's heat piling up on him, if people start asking questions about his products, he starts blocking everything. So we went into the site. We just put the truth in there. In the site, we went in there and we basically put the truth. We put a video of Fernando in a demonstration matching house paint, because that's what happened in the demonstration. That's what happened in the YouTube video. He matched house paint. That's what he did. And this is a video we asked him to post directly to his website, but he refused to do it due to the fact that he knew his product matched house paint. Over here, I'm going to bring this in real quick. Knew his product matched house paint, and he just ripped off a whole bunch of people. Did any of these people get their money back? No, because he has something on his site that says that if you open it up, you're stuck with it. If you lands on your property, you're stuck with it. So whatever happens, you're just stuck with it from the door. So we're going to show you right here. I don't like to say things out of my mouth unless I can back it up 100%. Because again, you can get sued for defamation and slander. This is all the stuff we have on Fernando and much more. The site's going to be updated. We have like a 60 or 70 videos to add to the site to expand, because we're taking him to court. He's going to court. So here we go. We got products matching house paint over here. We got products we're able to make. This is coming off the screenshots from the P2 projector using his Cinemax mix that he keeps bragging about, saying it's this awesome mix. No, it is house paint. That's Network Grade 773, matching your stuff. That's one of the things we're going to be challenging him in court on, that he went out and sold this product knowing it was house paint. After Jamie had found out the product had matched, we have it documented that he continued to sell the product long after finding out it was matching. That's like someone finding out that the hot dogs, they have E. coli and salmonella in them, and they could just continue to sell them knowing they could kill people. That's what he did. Over here, we have multiple PayPal claims that he's lost. This is a product that was shipped into us by a customer. This is the Metallica Mix 2.0, actual one that he didn't tamper with, and it matched house paint. It matched the same ingredients that he was telling people that was so different. The personal mix, the customer who has the screen that washed out, guess what this is? This is a personal mix matching Behr silver screen. Customer could have just bought this and had the same reaction. This is the video right here. This is the video he hates the most. Why? This video shows him matching house paint. So in this demonstration, clearly this is Fernando right here. And this is his challenge. He says, right, it's Crow's Cinemax Mix. Go back here a minute. There we go. Crow's Cinemax Mix versus Network Grade 773. And the outcome of this was extremely bad. So he really thought at the end of the day that he was going to beat this screen. Mind you, we did the demonstration years back. We did the demonstration about 6 months ago before he did it. And the reason why he did it was because his customer base was getting upset with the fact that we were launching all these videos requesting him to do this. And they started doing it themselves. And they were finding out that the paint was matching. The paint was matching their demonstrations, and now they're contacting him and they're yelling at him saying, hey buddy, we did the test ourselves and it matched. So now he tells them that they're wrong. I'll do the test. I'll show you that you're completely wrong. I'll show you that my product is not going to go in and match at all, period. It's going to be two different paints. I'm going to prove you wrong. Mind, he's arguing with his customer base about this, because I've had customers come back from him and say, yeah, they've gotten into arguments with Jamie because Jamie claimed that they did fraudulent demonstrations against him and that his product would never, ever match. Yeah, this is one of the videos he hates the most. Now, you see him in the red hoodie. You'll see him setting up to do the demonstration. There you go. And mind you, let me explain something to you here. For a projector that he's using, which is a P2 projector, Trod 4K projector, tri-laser projector, that has a 2,000,000:1, it could not even read the LG and 100% black because the projector can't see on his paint. There's the LG logo. That's supposed to be in black. We all know that. It's supposed to be in black. It could not read on a projector with a 2,000,000:1. Now, mind, is that the projector's fault? No, that projector is not supposed to be used on his screen paint at all, period. He should never be using the P2 at all. That is horrible. But watch this. Look at the blend. Easily blends right on in. I will be posting this to the blacklist and multiple sites today. Reason why, because again, he needs to be aware of this individual and what he's been doing. But not only that, AI has been making it aware also too on this individual. Look at that. Look at that match. Look at that match right there. Perfect match. Perfect match. I know the customers who've gotten into arguments with him about his paint, and the fact that they watched that video were in there celebrating, like, yeah, you know, you should have took him to court. Should have finished them and just took him to court. So right here in the background, you'll see, this is him again, and you'll see the paint just matching on every level. Look at that. So that shows you that, yeah, he ripped off a lot of people. A lot of people got ripped off on these products. The Personal Mix, the Cinemax Mix, the Metallica Mix are all the same paints. They're just off by a couple of shades of black. That's basically about it. But there's nothing special about any of them. They're all the same. The UV Mix, the Frankenstein Mix, which he should not be using the name, it doesn't belong to him. But that particular mix, it's just nothing more than just a whole, it's just dark gray paint. That's all it is. That's all it is, just dark gray paint. There's nothing special about it. And yeah, they came out very dark. Extremely dark. All right, so as you can see, we can show right there, paint's fraudulent, paint's a scam. Let's go over here and let's go check out the Behr silver screen right here. We'll show you that this is Fernando walking out of, because I like to back all this up when I make statements on here. Fernando walking out of a Home Depot with a sample sheet, a sample of the Behr silver screen in his hand. Behr silver screen in his hand, and then going back to his home, his apartment, where he paints the surface in, right there. And then, after he paints the surface in, you will see here that it matched. It matched perfectly, right there. He's been doing this for years. He's been ripping me for years. But now, justice is called because we're taking him to court. We're taking Fernando to court for several things he's being taken to court for. And this is one of them. This is one of the things we're actually taking him to court for. As you can see here, perfect match. He puts down Crows, Personal Mix versus the Behr silver screen. What you're missing. I don't think we're missing anything. I think we got a paint that matches, and I think customers who paid $65 to $90 for a quarter of your product got ripped off, because that is absolutely horrible. Now, where are these videos at? These videos are gone. He deleted these videos long off of his site a long time ago because, again, the pressure he was receiving, because customers were very upset. His entire customer base started to collapse. After these videos, his customer base completely collapsed. Nobody would trust him after these videos. Now, did he come in and do a re-video? Like, hey, I'm going to do another one. I'm going to show you that product. Something. He wouldn't do it. Not after that network grade that went on, he would not come on camera again. And to prove that, as I said before, we put out what was the mix called? No, it was regular paint. It was called Microblend. Microblend Slip Silver by Amazon. We did a campaign on that for him. He didn't like it. He refused to do that product. That product was $17.50 for a quart of it. It was a product that would have easily matched his product. We asked him to do the demonstration. He refused. He fought it tooth and nail. He wouldn't do it. There were other trolls that were coming in, and I guess there were customers that were angry and upset. They were also asking him to do that demonstration. He refused to do it. He refused to do it. He refused to do it. I told you, he's not going to do the demonstration because the situation he got caught up in that video, basically, he could not get out of that situation. He was stuck in there. He had no control. He's never going to allow himself to be put in that situation ever again. Ever again. So you can give him all the challenges in the world. He will not do this because he knows that that paint failed. Here we are right here. We're showing off a pilot getting into a plane. And as you can see, the contrast levels match, the skin tones match, everything matched perfectly. So the customers who bought that product definitely got ripped off. Let's go over to AI overview. Now, the reason why, like I said, he lost his business, because he says at the end of the day, I lost my business because I decided to leave. No, you didn't decide to leave. You had to leave. Number one, the LLC that sits on your business is basically you committed perjury because you stated that your business has been around for 5 months when actually your business has been around for over 5 months. And that's the reason why in California they have some kind of a statement due date that is needed for LLCs. And his is missing since 2023. It's a very important document that's missing. He can't put it in there because basically he puts it in there, it's going to tell the truth of his company's actual age. His receipts are not going to add up to what he said about in the application of his company's age. Keyword defining address is Crow, Cinemax, Mix LLC. Same as he had on his YouTube channel, same here. It's the same thing. Now, we've had people come in and say, oh, you doxed his address, No, his address was never doxed. His address is public domain. It's California Secretary of State. We go in here to search. We put in the keyword Crow Cinemax Mix LLC. This was on his YouTube channel. It was actually on his website. It was on all that. And we hit here on search. And this will bring his information up right there. Click on that again. And we have it right here. Now, the reason why his company is being sued because his company is still active. It's showing that the site is still active. He can't dissolve the LLC. The reason why he can't dissolve the LLC because this document right here is missing. He has to be able to complete this document before he can get rid of the LLC. It'll stay there permanently. Now, interesting thing about his address, which we figured out, found out that the apartment doesn't have a name, an actual name, like you have like Sunview apartment, whatever it may be. The apartment's name is the actual street name. So the apartment's name is 1714 Big Dalton Avenue. That is the name of the apartment. That's the name of the apartment. It doesn't have, if you're looking for this thing to file a complaint or sue this guy, you can't go to and say, okay, what is the name of this thing? It named it after the street, which makes it very hard to find the apartment because it doesn't have something like Sunview Bay or Upper Ocean or Blue Beach or nothing like that. Because you would say, okay, here's the street, and they named it Blue Peach. So all I got to do is just look for this right here. And of course, it's going to have a massive sign on Blue Peach Hotel. They all do. You would never be able to find them if they were named after the street. So the apartment was hidden. We also noticed in some research on the apartment that the Google Maps was automatically blurred. Good thing that the process server we had go to the apartment basically took pictures ahead of time. So now we have pictures of the apartment before they blurred it. The overtop roof area, the bird's eye view, which I mentioned on camera on purpose because I knew he would run over and tell her, the landlord, and say, hey, look, they can spot us from overhead. So automatically that went missing. But the problem you have there is process server has been on the property. Right when you walk out your doorway, there's a refinery right across the street from you. If we go to street level and we go right to the refinery and look over, doesn't make a difference borough or not, that's where your unit's at. Another way we found out too why your building's still there, the address next door. The address is like 14, 18, something like that. So all we have to do is put that into directions. It's 1 minute. What the freak is going at 1 minute? Either you're across the street or next to us. And across is a refinery. So the building next to you that we put the address in to find destination to your unit, it's right across the street from you. We can still find you. And mind you, process server has already been there at that unit. So with the email we received from him stating that he is undocumented. He stated he's undocumented. He states he doesn't have paperwork. He can't be found. He says at the end of the day that good luck trying to have a process server come together. That's literally just saying at the end of the day, good luck trying to prosecute me. I can't be found. He made it a personal challenge for law enforcement officers to start tracking this guy now because of that email. We have to reach out to FBI today about the email too. On top of that, send him over the email and all that because yeah, he's under a serious investigation. Now, let's go over to what's going on in AI overview. AI overview that talks about Fernando's situation, which I told you other people have filed complaints about him because he has done all types of fraudulent work. Other people have been ripped off besides us. AI's overview. This is based on complaints from other people. WW.1176 screen paint mix is no longer in operation and the business has failed. Key details, status of domain name. Let's see, the domain name was put up for sale. Put up for sale. My buddy bought it. Was put up for sale after the owner failed to pay fees and the site was deactivated or inactivated. Issues reported. Issues reported. Customers, not customer, customers reported receiving faulty washed out and dark screens. Dark screens, the UV mix and the Frankenstein mix came up extremely dark. Also, Jamie made another paint, which we have proof of that, of a black paint that he claimed that he can make. It didn't work out well. It came out too dark. Customers were making complaints about that, with allegations that the products sold were merely house paint. Multiple customers made complaints that this stuff was house paint. I told you, look, customers will go out and they will test your stuff. Legal allegations that owner referred to as Jamie has been accused of fraud, misrepresenting the age of the company and failing to prove products. That has been a complaint that was put out. People do the research. So if we go out and do research on something, other people are going to follow behind us to see if we're lying, to do the research on too. And a lot of people found out that, yeah, the company is not 5 months. How can the company be 5 months? You seen the receipts? People have bought that product before 5 months. People have bought that product before the LLC. So even they know that. We're not the only ones that picked up on that. Come on now. Here we have right here. Controversy. The owner is reported to be wanted by authorities, including immigration, law enforcement, ICE, and police, and is categorized as a professional scammer. Told you about this guy. This is the same individual who has a PayPal account with all your information sitting inside of it. Yeah, he's reported to multiple agencies. We're not the only ones. Well, we didn't get ripped off on because we knew we were getting ourselves into, but other customers were really ticked off over this guy. A lot of people filed complaints against him. So the person you see smiling on the YouTube account is a professional scam artist. It says right there, he's a professional scam artist. Now, for those people saying that, well, does not, he literally ripped off a bunch of companies and sold the merchandise. I don't know how people call themselves being Americans at the end of the day, and you don't see that. Even a person overseas can see that was wrong. Anyone can see that's wrong. Tell me somebody at the end of the day that has the right to rip off that much merchandise and sell it openly anywhere they want without basically informing the company that they're doing so. Tell me where that's possible in the United States. So he's clearly running a counterfeiting ring out of the apartment. People have a history of doing crimes or repeat these crimes. And he went from scamming people in house paints, these fake fraudulent paints, to now ripping off major companies using a lawful use of a printing machine. Now, for those people who have printing machine businesses, how does this affect you? It affects you big time. It really affects you big time. Because again, as I told you before, you already know that big business and politician now mix. And big business can come into politics and say, look, we'll donate money to you. We got no problem with that. But the problem we have is we have people that are ripping off our merchandise at a rapid pace with a 3D printer. We need these things taken out of the hands of civilians and given to only corporations only. You know, that's how internet was. When internet first came out, it wasn't internet for everybody. It was internet for corporations only had access to internet. We got it later on, but corporations get it first. So they can sit there and make this, and it can happen just like that. So that means the everyday Joe that makes his own idea, his own thing, runs a nice business, doing everything by the book, could very well lose his bread and butter because of people like this who rip off companies. And companies get tired of it, and they got the money and the power to go to Congress and say, hey, look, we'll give you money, whatever you want. Just make sure you make this a thing. Take it out of their hands. Now that guy's going to lose his business because of people like this. It drives the price up on items. when you basically counterfeit items. It drives the price up because they have to make money for their losses. So if something costs more money, it's more expensive because someone triggered the cause and effect to cause that to happen. So you those people sit there and say, well, I support it. You support what? You support basically stealing from other companies. So I guess you would support if somebody were to kick down your door right now and take your car out of your driveway and steal and take all your stuff, clean out your banking account. You would support that, right? You would have no problem with that. You wouldn't call the police over that because that's just something normal, right? Oh, so it's bad when it happens to you, but it's not bad when it happens to other companies. And what's your statement going to be? Oh, they have all that money. It doesn't make a difference. It belongs to them. Just like they can say at the end of the day, well, it's just a few trinkets at the end of the day. Who freaking cares? Cops could easily say that. You ain't really got nothing here valuable at the end of the day. Who cares? Anybody don't think about you. It's still your stuff, right? You want your stuff back. There you go. Same thing. You know, when you make statements like that, sometimes God will put you in another man's shoes. You don't want to be in that situation at the end of the day, under that judgment, because you can lose everything you have at the end of the day to learn that lesson. Got to be careful about the things you say at the end of the day. Real careful about that tongue. But anyways, you see right here, it's a failed business. It states a failed business. Any company looks it up, it's going to find it's a failed business. Multiple people made complaints about Fernando, about his products. They were ripoffs. They didn't work. Especially that customer you seen the soccer game. My goodness, his screen wasn't even there. He literally just paid probably $90 for a screen that's not even there. And he didn't have a joke of a projector. He had a high performance machine. And he couldn't read it. Let's go over here. Let's go to Facebook page. Of course, Facebook page is always down on him. He removes the Facebook page. You know why he removed it? Because we sent the link to every single one of the customers on this page. What was the link? The link was Jamie basically matching house paint. And a video. Now, Fernando, what are you going to say at the end of the day? Oh, you should have sent that link because it's not real. It is real. Is it not you in the video matching house paint? So we saved the customer some money because he's still making that product. You don't know that. Yeah, he's still making it. We tracked down some things about Fernando. Fernando's still making that paint on the side and still issuing that nonsense out. That's why we're taking him to court. There's a number of things he's going to court. He has 9 civil criminal complaints that were filed against him. 9 of these things. And if he misses one of them, bench warrant is 72 hours. That's why I said you can say whatever you want on your site. I don't care. You can talk about that. You don't care. At the end of the day, Fernando, you got 90 days. You got 90 days within, which means any timeline in 90 days, any one of those documents hit a judge or is past clearance or basically for a prosecution, you are done. That's it. So all the talk you're doing right now, that's absolutely nothing. You still got to come to court. And if you don't make it here, you're going to get a bench warrant within 72 hours. And I guarantee you, Baldwin Police Department will be right at your front door for your arrest. So all the talk you do, man, don't mean nothing at all to us, Security. We know how the ending's going to come. I know the ending of your story. And you know it too. You ripped off a lot of people, man. Even AI picks up all the information. We're not the only ones. We have to have tons of information AI picks up over and over again. And if this information just keeps matching again and again and again and again and again and again and again, boom, it pops up on AI. You have too many complaints against you. We're not the only ones who have complained about your fraudulent products that don't work. I went back to check up on that church. They don't have a screen painted there. They got something else up there, but it's not his screen. They replaced it. Of course they replaced it. This stuff doesn't work. So here we have the Facebook page pulled down. And the Facebook page was pulled down because we didn't go into your site, Jamie, and put in... I recorded the whole thing. I record everything I do. I didn't go into your site and put false information about you. Say your products did work. Say that 100% did work, and I wanted to make some fraudulent. Then you could get me easy. You could take me to court. Sue me. Easy. No problem whatsoever. But unfortunately for you, the video that we put into his account was this one. This is the video right here. This is the video of Fernando's product matching house paint. This is the one that shows him showing the receipt, showing the container, painting it in, and boop, blend into the screen. It also shows that the projector that he was using, a high-powered machine with a 2:1 contrast, was absolutely useless on his product because it failed to bring a proper color. That's a washed-out image. Proper color, and it failed to bring up a contrast level at 2:1, which clearly he stated that his screen paint worked well with that projector. His hat was blacker than basically the image for the LG. And now look at the perfect match on that. Look at that. Look at that perfect match. And this is a man who up and down yelled on camera that he's an expert in the field. I told you at the end of the day, time always tells the truth of a company. And if they are good, they're going to be around for a while, very long. If they can't, and they've been practicing a lot of fraudulent business practices, they will collapse. As you've seen with Partay's business, it has no activity on it for 2 months. No, sorry, 2 years. No activity. Nothing at all. None. He's still showing stuff from previously. I can go back to the account 2 years ago. Same stuff. You know why? He abandoned the site. He walked away from it. So that's the guy who talked about making his company, and they were going to all work together to put me out of business. Him, Rogers, all of them got together and put me out of business. How did that work out for you? See? That's what I said. This is what happens when you come across Christians. When you want to attack Christians at the end of the day, you want to steal their blessings at the end of the day, this is the outcome for you. This is the judgment that comes down on top of you. Your hands cannot be blessed. And everything you do will be put out for all to see. And as you see right there, when I showed you what the AI overview was, about people, customers may complain about this guy ripping them off. There you go. Now you see why. Look at that. Now imagine if you were sitting back, you just bought this paint. Do you have any idea what he had on his policy for returns? His policy on return was once it lands on your property, it's yours. If you open it, oh, it's yours. You're stuck with it. So say if you happen to figure out it doesn't match house paint, he could still keep your money. Now all that time you guys are sitting there ranting. That's why I saved this till later on. You guys are ranting and carrying on and acting up and saying that was product is it product. Oh, we're gonna post your comments. Trust me, we got all your comments. We screenshotted everybody. We're gonna post you next to this nonsense, these arrests and all that stuff. These are some people who supported them that got scammed. And you got scammed. But the difference between you and the other ones, they didn't know anything. They're just buying paint for the first time. I feel sorry for them. You guys backed this product up 100%. You supported it. You're just as guilty as he is. Mind you, there's a conspiracy ring going on. This conspiracy ring is huge. It's involving the scams he did in these paints. It's involving the scams of these 3D printed items. It's a lot of stuff. You don't want to be caught in this thing as association to this nonsense. And we got a lot of people went in and wrote their 2 cents in, and their 2 cents now has been added to a list. Yeah, not good. These are actually videos. This right here is the Behr Silver Screen. That's the same thing the customer bought. I'm sorry, the Personal Mix. Personal Mix versus the Behr Silver Screen. That's what the customer bought and painted to his wall. He literally could have did the same thing with just going to Home Depot. He would have same reaction, same thing. Same reaction. Here he is walking right out of Home Depot. Now what happened to this video? It went missing again. It disappeared. We actually have on the account showing the video going missing. Him deleting the video off the account. That's what I was warning you. I was warning you and warning you and warning you and warning you and warning you. Now, all of you have made purchases to that man's site unless you have moved. If you moved, you're good. But if you haven't and your information's in there, you need to contact PayPal quick. It's going to take a while to remove that. It's very hard to remove someone's account off PayPal. You have to show court orders, all types of stuff to get that thing removed. Until then, if this man gets picked up or deported, if he any given time, he has your information as a bargaining chip when he hits that prison. Because you're going to need something there to survive. And having access to over 5 years of information in a PayPal account is actually pretty good. Because that means your address now can go for identity theft. And you got people in there at the end of the day who have amazing computer skills. They were in there for that particular reason. That whole credit card decipher nonsense, oh yeah, they'll break through that in no time at all. Easily. You know, that's what happened with over with Disney. Their accounts got compromised. And these guys got in and got thousands and thousands of accounts. They sued them on the black market. This is what you gave yourself to at the end of the day. His PayPal account, littered with complaints. Littered with complaints. He lost every single one of them to us. We won every single PayPal complaint. Even the ones he filed against us, we still won them. He lost all of them. There are so many people who complained about this guy, it wasn't even funny. Let's share the moving on to bigger and better things from Fernando. His moving on to better and big. I literally have you in a video making the statement by saying that he made the statement in the video. He said, I'm over here real quick. I'm still clicking on his. Made the statement that he said that that he was going to start a 3D printing business. Yeah, we still shouldn't be on him in any way whatsoever. Let me go bounce out and go to my account. For some reason it's locked in his for some reason. It is locked in his account. Alright. You're locked somehow in his account for some strange reason. Let's go over here. Facebook. There we go. That happens. Literally, you can be locked in someone else's account. It does happen from time to time. That's how we got locked up in freaking whatchamacallit's account. McAfee. And literally got one of my accounts are locked. Every time it comes up, poof, his account will pop up. Every single time. And he thought, he said, no, we're not going in there. It's just basically attached to my account. Let's see. Here we go. Now, this is the site we built called 3D Printing Violations. Now, for those of you who have gone and interacted with this site, let me warn you from the door. This site has been sent to multiple law enforcement officers, FBI, just about everybody is connected to this site. So that way they can go in here and look through all this information, including response from other people that may respond to the site. Because people can be in there trying to get orders or trying to make comments or back this guy up. That makes you a suspect. So that's why we warn you ahead of time. Be careful about going on the site and making comments. Like Eddie Harper, which is actually Jamie Crow 1176. He came in with a fake account to try to laugh at each item to make it look like, it was funny, whatever, you know what I mean? So nobody would take it seriously. Fernando, I don't know what kind of world you live in at the end of the day, but that doesn't work at all. You know what feds see when they see this site? They see a person in their apartment making tons of licensed items. They don't care if it has 1,000 laugh emojis on it. What they see is someone breaking the law. That's what they see. So, in this site right here, we have quite a lot of interesting information on this site. Let me see. So here we have the latest videos are from TikTok. In TikTok, it shows Fernando moving on to bigger and better things, as it says in the video, ripping up tables and tables and tables of licensed material that belong to other companies. This is called a major, trademark violation. It shows storage containers filled with stolen merchandise. It shows them in action printing out the items. It shows customers holding stolen merchandise. As we scroll down, there is more information, pictures, the printing machines that are being used to process. Mind, this is major violations for the owner of the building because he is operating the business without permission. On top of that, it's a counterfeiting business. There's a TikTok channel right there. Crow's 3D Life right there. All this is under investigation. Here we have basically, this is his information right here, his address, because we had people come on the account screaming and yelling at me that his address was doxed. No, his address basically shows that state of California. There's all the information right there. And this shows his LLC. His LLC with its address attached to it. And stating that the building's actual name is the name of the apartment without apartment E attached to it. There's information right here basically about the email. This is the email you sent to me stating that you do not have documents. You do not exist. This is doing trademark violations, ripping off companies, and making statements that you do not exist anywhere in the United States. You are a legal alien. All that stuff from the door. Because we had people coming and saying, oh, at the end of the day, you're just accusing him. He hasn't done anything wrong. You know what I mean? You're just accusing because he doesn't have his paperwork. No, he's being accused because he's a criminal. That's what he's being accused of. Not because he doesn't have paperwork, because he is a criminal. I want people to understand how that one works. You want to keep putting your 2 cents in it, let's go to court. You want to get involved in this mess? We'll bring you into it. The other fellow came in and was talking some nonsense. He said some stuff about how, oh, what he's doing is not against the law. Oh, really? You want to put your 2 cents in that? Blocked his channel. The other guy came in and said, oh, his paints are amazing products. He would never rip anybody off. Yeah, we sent him that video of him in the red hoodie. He blocked his channel. Oh, you doxed his information. That's against the law. Sent them that Secretary of State, all the information on there with the LLC. He blocked his channel. There you go. Here's his truck. Now, in his truck right here, he stated in the email that all his stuff is under someone else's name because he doesn't have documents at the end of the day. So this guy went in and basically recorded his truck, including the dealership plate here in the front. Jamie's driving in the state of California without a license, without insurance, which again makes him a liability if he slams into your truck and he causes an accident. That means that you have no way to pay for your vehicle. That's going to come out of your own sweet pockets. License plate to the truck right there. Also, too, it's fraud because it's in someone else's name, which means whoever put their name on this license plate at the end of the day, the problems you just got yourself into? That means that when they deport him and he's arrested, what's going to happen is payments on this truck are going to continue to have to be made. It says it's in your name. It's going to destroy your credit. Good luck with that freaking nightmare at the end of the day. We have more items stolen from Fernando being sold at Comic-Con. Now, mind, how bold can you be? This man ripped off Stan Lee. Ripped off the late Stan Lee, his Spider-Man, his mask, all his stuff, and took it down to Comic-Con to sell it, which we've been in contact with them. Mind you, Fernando, when you walked into this building, there's cameras everywhere in there. And there's cameras that recorded you and your sister walking into the building, making sales in the building, and that now they know that everything on the table was fake. An investigation just popped up. That's why I said local and law enforcement are all in here about this individual. Puts down Power Ranger right there. Not done yet. Got Voltron in here. Stealing that. And here he's making mockery of Stan Lee. Y'all support that. Y'all subscribers support that nonsense. Let's see. There we go. It's Batman right there. That shows on top of the storage units that he have. Right there. Let's keep it going. Here's Gremlins. Stole that too. Oh, and these are customers right here that bought his merchandise, which now are going to be bought in. You can get it, what? I think how many years in county? I think it's like 10 years in county for receiving stolen items in California. It's up there. They don't play around with that. There's Spider-Man right there. And right there, other object, the Mighty Ducks, ripped them off. Daredevil. There's his YouTube account right there. That Crow 1176 shows up on quite a lot of documents at the end of the day. And documents that weren't done right. And there's the individual here again. So when he comes on his channel and he complains about, oh, he's just nobody. There's a lot of people followed on you, man. A lot of people followed on you. Masters of the Universe, Star Wars, Disney. Gee, well, they're both the same thing. But man, here he is in action showing, printing out Dragon Ball Z. There's the storage unit where he shows he has multiple items, the stolen items. And Fernando, let me tell you why you're not the smartest person in the book. And I'll tell you why. Majority of most people who do this type of work at the end of the day would never do this out of their home, ever. They would do it in some warehouse, way out in the middle of nowhere somewhere. That's where they're doing it. Someplace that you really can't find. And they would never record themselves doing this. We have audio to everything. Look at that. That's all stolen item. All stolen merchandise from companies. That is literally like someone coming on Instagram saying, look, you see all these Gucci pocketbooks, man? We make them right here. This is where we make them at. This is where we package them professionally. This is the guy who does the individual tags for each one. They look professional. And this is what we have in inventory. And FBI was like, well, and they walk outside and here's our location. If you ever want to pick up one of these bags. And then they wonder why they got 6 or 7 trucks out there and all this stuff out there. Yeah, because it's against the law. You can't do that. So these are all stolen merchandise from companies. There we have 3D printing machines in operation. This right here, again, for the landlord, at the end of the day, you're not zoned for this. You're not zoned to run these type of machines in this apartment in any way whatsoever. Your apartment, first of all, is not even designed to conduct these type of machines because the ventilation system you have in your apartment is extremely poor. And the entire time this guy was printing this stuff out, the windows were shut in this apartment. There was no open door at all. It was windows were shut in this apartment. And clearly, if you saw from the windows, you would have clearly seen that there was light pushing up against the black shades. You would have noticed any light that came into that door, those machines would have been well illuminated. So that means that area was boxed in when he was doing all that printing in there, which means the apartment has to be clean and anything else around it, because these machines give off little poisonous particles that you could breathe and they can attach themselves to your lungs, which means that carpet, all that, it's been saturated with poison. All that would have to be detoxed and cleaned out. I did the research on the machines. I got a buddy of mine at the end of the day, like it's professional business. Everything they have in there, in that area, all concrete floors in there, yeah. And on top of that, even they have the covers on them. You're supposed to have the covers on them with the exhaust system. So there you are, you see right here, in business, in operational, Jamie Fernando Gonzalez printing out multiple Jason masks to be sold to a company, which now they're going to track down the company. Company's going to be, I don't know what's going to happen to that. Whoever owns rights to this, we saw, this is actually copyrighted material, owns the rights to that, they were going to sue the daylights out of that. Company will be sued for millions of dollars. Items right here, more items stored in the back. See those Jason masks in the back? He was stacks of them. There's some more right there. Operating another machine. In the video, he talks about how one of the machines wasn't working correctly. He printed out 1,000 of these units. There's different types of machines. This was sent to, well, now since we got several parties involved in this, more heavy hitters involved, we're going back to zoning. I know the person who basically runs the head of zoning over in California, Baldwin, California, and now we're going to show that the operation still continues on. They need to make a visit to the building. So you have several machines operating in this environment. None of these have covers on them at all. No exhaust systems. My friend looked through all of these. He said there are so many violations and it's not even funny. And the fact the apartment's not zoned for it, and the fact he's operating in the state of California without a business license. Laugh emojis are from a fellow by the name of Eddie Harper, which, if tracked down, is Jamie. Jamie comes in with fake accounts all the time. So, Fernando, here we go right here. And you see video footage. Look at the items on the table. That's Pokemon involved. So Nintendo. Nintendo did reach out to us. So they're requiring more information about Fernando. So he's under investigation by Nintendo. And right now, soon we're going to be, I know a person was telling me they work for the legal department for Disney. So they're going to help us out with this situation of contacting Disney directly. And Disney's involved with Star Wars and Marvel and all that stuff. So it's got a bit of an interesting day with those guys. But as you can see, everything on the table, all stolen merchandise. Is there more customers holding stolen merchandise? There is another machine in operational, as you can see right there. Now you see at the top, see the Power Ranger? Power Ranger right at the very top. That's one of the Power Rangers that was sitting on the table.
Video, YouTuber, Code 1176, aka Jamie.
There, that's one of the Power Rangers that was sitting on the table for sale. So we've seen items in the apartment being printed out that ended up in storage units and also ended up on tables. They'd be sold at flea markets. So Fernando, when I sit there and say to you at the end of the day that you are a criminal, all right? When I sit there and say you are a criminal, when I say that, you know, multiple people have made complaints against you, that you claim to be this innocent person, you've never done anything wrong, buddy, you are a professional scammer. Even AI Overview sees you as a professional scammer, a person not to be trusted. And this is now an individual who has about over 5 years of your information in a PayPal account. Now, if you move to a new location, you're good. But keep in mind, if you change your credit card and all, you're good. But if your information's still in there, you're screwed. Because he gets set to the right person and a lockup unit who knows how to basically interact with those accounts, you are screwed on so many levels that it's not even funny. And the sad thing about it is, to get that removed, it's going to be really hard to do. Because PayPal is going to take it as a prank. They're going to take it as when you contact, say, look, this guy has my information account. I need to have it removed, so and so and so. But did you willfully make the order? I did. There you go. You're going to need a lot of people to get one of those things removed. You're going to have to get a lawyer. This is going to be expensive. You're going to get a lawyer. You're going to have to take Jamie to court, or you're going to have to basically, and I don't even know how that's even going to work, because any red flag pops up on this guy, they're going to deport him from the door. So I don't know what the hell is going to work for you. But you need to get your name out of that freaking PayPal account before he basically goes from here to there. Because wherever he goes at, he has all that information. He has the account, he has the information, passwords, he got your information. Identity theft. Can someone do your identity off your address? Freaking heck yeah, they can. You watch these guys do that nonsense. Use somebody's address and commit crimes on it. Go back over here. So let's go back here again. As you can see, this is Jamie's website right here. We look for shop. There's his website right there. He poses it up on his channel as if it's still there. Not thinking that someone's going to click on there and find this. Remember I said his website's down. It's actually not down. It's gone. That site is gone. He lost the site because, again, all the stuff he was doing on the site. Customers were complaining about that product. Customers were complaining about the ship out policy. The policy claiming state at the end of the day that you're stuck with this. Let's go pull that up. I don't like to talk about something unless I can back it up. That's how it works for me. Let's pull up the research we did on that shipping policy that Fernando had attached to his site to ensure him that he could keep your money and you couldn't do anything about it, even if you found out that the product was fraudulent. Now, Jamie will sit there and say, well, he's doing it. It has nothing to do with whatever you said about me. I told you, Fernando, from the door. And you got to listen when I tell you this. You're probably in the room, so just listen to when I say this. It has nothing to do with whatever you say about me. You're going to jail. That's all that matters to me. At the end of the day, I know something about you that I didn't know before. I know 100% that you do not have a document. You don't have paperwork. You told me this through an email. So I know that if I file anything on any form of charges against for you to come into court, you can't make it here. You have to go through a TSA to get here. And you can't go through TSA because you don't have the documents to do so. So with that being said, any charges I file on you, anything I filed on here, I can get you pinched. Anything. Anything that anyone does online that they file against you, they can get you deported. You are now open target. Now, I would advise you to do this, make sure that whatever you do, that you do it by the book. Don't make stuff up, because that'll get you in trouble too. Now, you'll be sitting in jail. Everything we have on him is all the criminal activity. That alone, what we just saw there, on that, the stuff you were stealing, all I have to do is come down here to Pennsylvania, where I'm at right now, and file a private criminal complaint that you have touched our copyrights and you continue to touch others. That's it. Submit that information. Now, you think any law enforcement officer or any form of DA or prosecutor is going to look past and go, oh, no, it's not enough evidence? It is more than enough evidence. If we had enough evidence to have a process server go to your front door, we got more than enough evidence to prosecute you here in the state of Pennsylvania, even for touching my copyrights that are actually registered with the government. And in the email, we have a statement of you saying that they don't exist. So with that being said, when you get those court documents, you got to be here in the state of Pennsylvania. Unfortunately for you, you can't come here because you don't have documents, which means you'll never pass the TSA security checkpoint. And what does that mean? You're going to get a bench warrant. So that means at the end of the day, whatever you said at the end of the day, we don't care, because we know sooner or later one of those documents are going to hit a judge or a prosecutor and you're going to come here. That's all that matters. At the end of the day, whatever you do, whatever you say, it's going to end with you going to jail. That's it. You can't even come here to fight your case. And then here in Pennsylvania, it's different. Over here in this particular section, it's very different. It means that we don't have to come to you, you come to us. Knowing that now, yeah, that's why we filed all this stuff on you now. Everything we have on you, we filed. Yep. So we know you have to come here. So sooner or later, you got to come. You have no choice whatsoever. You have to be here. If not, Baldwin Police Department will be on your front door for an arrest because you failed to show up in court. That's what it comes down to. That's it. But anyway, let's get to, let me see right here. We have here, hold on a minute. Site's out. Yeah, from here. And let's say overview. Let's see one here too. So AI deep overview. The business has been subjected to serious accusations from former customers. Former customers had problems with his paints. They were not working. They were washing out right there. The darker mixes he was making, they weren't tested correctly. They couldn't read white levels. We tested themselves. They had all types of issues with them. So business has been subjected to serious accusations from former customers, including product quality issues, claiming that these specializations of screen paints were actually standard house paint. Who knew? Who knew this? Who knew this? Who knew this? We told you this. We told you this years back. We said this guy is a scammer, a rip-off artist. We told you this. This is not just from us. This is from other customers complaining about this guy. The business has been subjected to serious accusations for, mind you, we're taking this company to court on this too. If he's stuck here, then we got him on this. Former customers, standard house paint, and that the finished screen paints were often washed out or completely dark. This was the Cinemax and UV mix. I've gotten so many people contact us on that mess. At the end of the day, they said that paint was so dirty, it was unbelievable. Yeah, he was selling them nothing but house paint. Let's look at the shipping policy on this too, on top of that. Let's grab a shipping policy. Let's see. Allegations, misrepresentation. The company had aged and failing to provide product, supporting a fulfillment and cancellations. Because people had problems with cancellations. Orders were getting canceled left and right because he couldn't basically produce these products correctly. Accusations, misrepresentation, that the company's age, that's company's age, again, people research that, because when we research something, other people research it too, and other people have a little more clearance than I do, so they found out some stuff that I didn't even know. Failing to provide products, support, or fulfilled cancellations. Here, this is a deeper look on AI. Legal accusations. Report suggested that the owner is currently sought by law enforcement. Yeah, he is. He definitely is, yes. We follow so much stuff on this guy. Other people have followed stuff on this guy. Come on, man, you painting a screen. And this guy is promising you. Like, imagine the guy who basically try to watch a soccer game. So you have a sports bar, and you paint this stuff in. And the screen washes out. It looks just like that guy. How upset would you be at the end of the day? Of course you would file. Legal accusations and reports suggest that the owner is currently sought by law enforcement and immigration authorities for various legal violations. Because once Jamie posted the email, because remember, he went on his channel and said, oh, this guy's racist. He's racist because he attacked me for nothing. Boy, what is wrong with you, man? Do you see the stuff that you do on a daily basis? So let me get this straight. You go in and you rip your customers off. You get caught in multiple videos matching house paint. You get caught basically stealing Google images and claiming to be your own images. You run a 3D printing where you rip off major companies and sell the items, and you sit there and say at the end of the day that you're surprised that you're being sought by law enforcement and immigration with ICE? Really? Can you imagine this guy in court on a stand like, I didn't do anything wrong, I'm innocent. I did nothing wrong. All that I was framed. I couldn't. You can't make this up. And somebody puts down, no, they put down, are you looking for actual good screen paint? Check out do-it-yourself theater supplies. Because the stuff he's selling, it's all over the internet. You can make that stuff. There's no testing behind it. That's why we made that mix called Special Blend. Did he make it yet? No, he didn't make that stuff. He's never going to go near that stuff. His product is nothing but house paint. We told you, there's no testing at all. That's why they can't take us to court on our end, because our stuff is tested. We can back our stuff up anywhere we go. We got tons of testing behind our stuff. There's nothing behind their stuff. You bought house paint. Every time you go to Home Depot, all you had to do was slide one of them gray paint. You would have had the same thing. He got you. And he did. He got you. He got you good. He got you. And can you sue him now? No, not really. Statute of limitations has been over. You can't touch him. But, nah, can't do that either. You're going to have to go in and you're going to have to try to get your name off that PayPal account. Now, if you move, got a new credit card, whatever, you could. But if you didn't, you're screwed. Get your name off that stuff, man. If this guy goes in and he takes your information, you are in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. Can someone steal your identity over your address information? Yeah, they can take your address. They can take your address and take your identity. Yeah. Criminals can use your home address and steal your identity. And he has you bought what from him? He has your PayPal account information in his head, 5 years of it. That's a heck of a bargain chip inside. He can live pretty comfortable with that. And you think at the end of the day, this honest, innocent person at the end of the day is going to regard your information? Please. He's going to sell you guys up the river. You guys are done. He's not where he's going at the end of the day. These are not, I'm not trying to be rude, but these are not the type of people you want your information to be handed out to. And unfortunately, you're in that situation now. It'll take you years to get that thing taken off. Your PayPal is really strict on basically removing stuff. You're going to have to get a lawyer. It's going to cost you money. That's going to cost you extra money. It's going to cost you more money than what you paid for that house paint at the end of the day to get that mess cleaned up. And for those of you who sat up on your Facebook and YouTube channel and bragged about my company being a scam at the end of the day. See, that's what I said at the end of the day. Those people at the end of the day, the Lord will out you for who you are. Should have trusted my company instead. You trusted his. That's what you got. You got a bunch of woes to go with it. The attorney you're going to have to hire to clean that mess up, it's going to be expensive. It's going to cost you more than what you paid for that product. I guarantee you that much. And that's just to get your name off. His name off. Whoever's name gets a lawyer, that's going to get their name off that mess. Clear it out. You're going to have to do that. Each person is going to cost you money. Well, good luck with that one. Let me see. Let me see. Shipping policy scam. Right there. Boom. Did it already. You reach on his shipping policy. The policy he had on his site that if it lands on your property, you are stuck with it. I saw that. I was like, wow, that is some messed up stuff. But yeah, that's what's on his site. Now, we scanned each one of his pages one by one. So make sure if we ever to pop in court, we get him, we figure out where he's at, we're good. Oh, keyword to it at the end of the day. If you are trying to send documents to his apartment, by the way, you're not going to be able to find it. Because again, I told you, the way it's designed is pretty tricky. So bottom line is you have to remember that the street address is the apartment address. And how do we find out about that? AI told us. So AI came in and said, hey, look, we're looking for the, I don't know what we put in. We put something in there. And AI came in and said that it doesn't have a license name attached to it. Is usually referred to as the street address. That's a slick way to hide a unit. And that means the landlord does know, because you know why the landlord knows? I made a mention in the video. I said that the only thing you can't block is a bird's eye view. Actually, you can. You just remove the information out. But I didn't let them know that I knew this. So I made the statement. Fernanda went back and told her, because she don't watch my videos. I'm pretty sure she don't. I guarantee went back and told her and said, hey, they got another way they can see the building. They can see it from over top. And the minute that was made it, all the information disappeared. You do know I have videos of showing the information was there 1 minute and now it's gone the next after I made the statement. So you literally just did exactly what I needed you to do. That means you have contact with her, and both of you know. That's why the building's going to be sued for $3 million. Save me the time of sending out certifies, right? And he ran right to her and told her. Unless she watches my channel, that's the only way she would know. But I got videos showing that that information was in there. Now it's not. That guy is easy at the end of the day. It is so easy. Shipping policy, right here. That's your webpage, right? I told you. We got all this stuff scanned. We got all so much information. Jamie's not even funny. You probably thought this was gone forever. No, buddy. No. We basically scanned each one of your pages. I got your entire webpage intact. Page by page. Yeah, returns and policies. That's right there. Saving you hundreds. Now look at the specification sheet. This mix, my favorite. One of my, oh, I feel like I'm having a stroke every time I read this thing. This mix is my favorite. One of all my mixes. One of all my mixes. Okay, I couldn't wait for Jack. It will give you well-balanced picture. It will give you well-balanced picture from your ultra short throw projector. It works best with 2200 lumens and up. Test it. No. Test it with 1080p and 4K. That's supposed to be separate, not together. Great with some light environment. 1 quart. Couldn't spell quart correctly. There's no R in that abbreviation of quart. Covers up to 100 to 135. Oh, we definitely have that on recording too. When he said paints up to a 300-inch screen, oh, we have that too. This mix is my favorite. Using it with ultra short throw. Projector. It is amazing. Literally, I told you. Every time I see that, I think about the Always in Sunny Philadelphia, where he wrote him the speech for the campaign. Give me power. I want power. Power I need now. I'm like, oh my God. It's like, this is, yeah. This is what I said. Shipping scam policy. All right. Saving you hundreds. The policy right here. Returns and refund policies. Once the product is delivered. Didn't spell deliver correctly for Jack. No returns or refund. So if this thing lands on your property, if it lands on your property, once it's delivered, no returns or refunds. Only exchange for a different mix if the container wasn't open. How would you know if the product doesn't work unless you open the container? You're supposed to have telekinesis or something. Look at it. No, I can see right there is a defect in it without even opening. That's impossible. So bottom line is, you can only get exchange if you never opened it. But how would you know if there's nothing wrong with it if you don't open it? That's like you buying a TV set and you get it home. You're going to have to plug it in. How would you know if it doesn't work? So you take it out of the box, you plug it in, the TV comes up all weird looking. You go, oh shoot, it's got a defective model. You take it back. What do they ask for? You ask for your receipt, right? Give them a receipt, get another TV back. Get your TV back and get your money back. That's how it works, right? All right then. Then what kind of freaking nonsense is this at the end of the day? Who freaking writes a policy like this that says that once it lands on your property, you're stuck with it? So if you're dealing with a TV, if this was a TV, that means if it lands on your property, you're just stuck with it. Whether it's broken, whether the guy threw it over the top, it got broken, whatever happened to it, whatever happens or whatever, you're stuck with that. And then say you take it out of the box, and open it up out of the box, and set it up and turn it on, automatically void warranty. You lost your warranty on it. Go on, because you opened it up. How would you know if it's broken if you don't take it out of the box? I literally got in an argument with somebody with that in a convenience store one time over some AV cables that I needed for a stereo system, a rack system that I bought, a rack system, and didn't have these AV cables that I needed. So I bought these AV cables from the store, and I go home to hook them up, and they got this funny clicking sound on them, which I know like the ends are damaged, they're broken. So I take them back. I don't want my money back. I just want the AV cables that run my stereo system I just bought. And the guy got in an argument with me. He said, no, I can't give your money back. I said, why not? He said, because you open it. I said, how in the world would I know it doesn't work if I don't open it? That's impossible. The police showed up on that nonsense over some AV cables. So the police get there, and they sided with me. How was you going to know? I'm going to have to open it. That's why we test everything before we ship it out the door. That's why you get caught up in a batch number verification, you're screwed, because we can show this thing was tested before it ever launched to you. We can show them tested before they were sold to you. But what happens if there's basically some kind of breakdown in the machine of making it? There's a defect that pops up. It's tested before it's shipped out. So we would see this from the door, knowing we're known for testing our stuff. Good luck on winning one of those. If you got a lawsuit coming toward one of those for basically making a statement that the product came in too dark and unwatchable, you got to beat a batch number, and they're virtually impossible to get around. Actually, they are impossible to get around. Keep in mind, what they do is they go to our PayPal account and they look through how many complaints we got on that one batch. Now, say if you said that, oh, well, it's defective, then if 20 people say it's defective, it still has to get past the batch number verification, because that's where it comes out of the unit itself. The building itself that makes the product is the one doing the testing. So we would know what to look for. You can't get around those things. So that's why I said it's impossible to get around batch numbers. Virtually impossible. But anyway, with that being said, you don't have batch number verification, because in order to have batch number verification, your stuff has to be tested before you sell it. How in the world are you going to do a verification on a product that you never tested? You don't even know your product because you never tested it. If you're going to school and you don't want to learn how to drive a car, right? Say you never drove a car a day in your life. Some people know how to drive before they even take the license. But say you never drove a day in your life at all, period. How in the world are you going to pass the test if you don't even know how to drive the vehicle itself, or you don't know anything about the test itself? You just walk in there and take a test and just be done? You have to go through the process of learning this so you know this when the time comes up for the test. That's why when we test all our stuff, we know all what's going to happen here, what's going to happen there, what needs to be fixed, how we fix this, how we fix that, how we... You have to have testing. That's insane. So this stuff is not tested. So that's why this policy is designed this way. Just in case if you find out that there's a problem with this mix or something's wrong with it, you're stuck with it either way. And he can keep your money. So did I back myself up when I said this? See, this is why I said when we have videos like this all over YouTube about this guy, every video that we make, we back up everything we say in these videos. That's why anything we say in any one of these videos can be used against Fernando Gonzalez in a court of law to prosecute him. Because it's evidence. Shipping policy? Yeah. Bullcrap. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my entire life. So yeah, backed it up 100%. Did I not? Come here and backed it up. Just like that. Went on to rip up companies and steal from them. He admitted he does not have documents in the United States, committed all types of crimes. And then now you have here where basically AI Overview is basically pouring out all over the internet that multiple customers have had complaints with this guy, have had problems with him. That he's basically, as an interest now, interest has been taken upon him with local law enforcement officers, immigration. Yeah, he has a lot of problems coming to him, a lot. And he wants to get on his channel, act like, oh, nothing's happening to me. Buddy, Fernando, you're in so much hot crap, it's not even funny. You're in a lot of crap right now, a lot. AI has announced you as, Overview on Google has announced him as a professional scam artist. And I've been telling you that for years, because there are a lot of customers who complained about this product. Now Jamie will mark this up. Oh, he's just ranting. So AI is ranting too? AI has been there putting all this information about you all over the internet, all over the world. AI shows up everywhere in the world. So you're saying that AI is sitting there ranting too? No, Jamie, for you, you're a professional. Karen, anyone who basically complains about anything that you do, you can run somebody over and you'll sit there and go, oh, I never did it. You didn't see me. My vehicle was never there. And if the person wants to take you to court and prosecute for, oh, they're just ranting. They're just ranting. They're racist. They're ranting. That's you. You're a professional Karen. But don't worry, Fernando. We got you tied up real nicely. So I'm going to make sure you're taken care of. I filed 9 of these things against you. One of these things is going to hit the judge sooner or later. You got 90 days. One of them going to hit. And when they do, Fernando, if you're not here, and I already going to know where you're at. When I'm sitting in court and they call your name over and over again, I'm going to know from the door that you never showed up. I'm going to have the biggest smile on my face because I know what's going to happen next. They're going to file a 72 hours bench warrant. I know exactly what's going to happen. I hope you're on stream when it happens so we can all see it. And come right to your apartment, knock on that door, and come get you. And hopefully, if all goes well, you'll be transported here. Hopefully, no red flags pop up on him and ICE don't get his hand. We want him here. We want him here in Pennsylvania. Because I got so much stuff for us to discuss. While you're sitting in that holding cell, you have additional 8 of these probable criminal complaints. We're going to talk about your company. We're going to talk about all the stuff you did on YouTube, all the trash. I'm going to talk about all that. But the difference is you're going to be in front of a judge. And you're going to be wearing a jumpsuit. Because you're going to be in the prison system over here, the jail system over here. Yep. Interesting how you say at the end of the day, the rise and fall of Kenneth Bird. And yet the rise and fall is you losing your business, your Facebook channel, AI basically everywhere saying that you're a scammer, professional, got law enforcement officers pretty sure that interest. You got ICE now that's interested in your criminal activity. And you said the rise and fall? No, you are the one that just fell, Jamie. And fell pretty hard too at that. And the sad thing about this, Fernando, it makes it so sad. Oh, I forgot about that. You can't do that. Okay. I usually can say in this situation, I can't in this situation, can't say that. I usually can say in this situation that at least, you know, you can pick up your cross and find and follow God. But you messed that up, man. You messed that up. I can't even say that. I'm used to saying that to somebody. Like, you got a second chance. You can basically pick up your cross and follow God. God can get you out of this situation. You committed a sin that can't be forgiven. You can't be forgiven for this sin. You know how messed up that is? As a Christian man, that hurts me deeply. That you can't get a second chance at all. You messed up, man. I'm still going back and forth. I got to talk to this preacher and talk to him and say, look at this video. Can you tell me if he basically did this sin? Because I don't even want to face it. I don't even want to believe that you did it. But in the back of my mind, you did. He lost his salvation. You lose your salvation, ain't nothing in this world worth jack in this world. Ain't nothing in this world worth nothing at all. What's worth in this world? What is worth anything in this world besides God's salvation? What's worth it? Because you're not going to stay here to enjoy it. You're never going to be to stay here to enjoy everything. You got to leave sooner or later. You got to go. And then the world you're going to is permanent. This world is not permanent. There's nothing in here is permanent. And people build their foundation and their future in a world that has no future. The next life is where everything becomes real. That's the next life. But people don't build for that. And he wrecked that. He messed it up, man. Why would you do something like that, man? What was wrong with you? I understand. I mean, come on. You're not attacking me when you do stuff like that. You're attacking God. That's what you're doing. Nothing is affecting me. When you want to laugh about finding, see God and make jokes and stuff about the Lord and stuff like that, you're not hurting me. You're hurting your relationship with God. That's the one who makes the judgment of whether or not you make it to heaven and hell. That's not like something where you're going to be there for a short while and then you're going to go someplace. No, that's our eternity. Gee whiz Louise. Crazy, man. That's crazy. Let me see. Can't even say that. Now, everybody who has sinned against God, everyone who's going to be prosecuted and you'll be facing your crossroads soon, you have the opportunity to inherit the kingdom of heaven. Thus, if you haven't done anything on that level that he did, of blaspheming against the Holy Spirit, hallelujah, as I explained before, anybody who's a Christian going to tell you from the door, hallelujah is the highest praise you can give God. It's the highest praise you can give him. And when people have the Holy Ghost, that's something that they shout. It's hallelujah. And when you people take stuff like rap music, oh my goodness. You take rap music, I've seen people who get praise and they get the Holy Ghost and they're shouting and do their dance, and somebody will come along and put rap music over that. Blasphemy. You just condemned yourself. Even if you get your life together and you want to be saved, you can't get that. It's an unforgivable sin. That and suicide, they're both unforgivable sins. People say, yeah, suicide is an unforgivable sin. It's in the Bible. Now, people don't read the Bible at the end of the day. When I quote people who do read the Bible, it's in the Bible. It says it right there. It's 2 unforgivable sins. It says it even talks about the highest sin. The highest sin is pride, because that's what brought the devil down. That's what actually brought Lucifer, God's angel, was pride, brought him down. Pride is extremely dangerous. I'm gonna look this up, and I got something to do because I got this customized motorized projection screens that we're gonna be announcing pretty soon. I'm gonna be designing, and I got those to do. And I got installations coming up this week. I got to walk through doing it today. On top of that, let me see. And deleting videos too at a rapid pace too. I noticed that at a very rapid pace. Well, Fernando, we're done here. I had to contact at roughly 10 o'clock the FBI about the whole email you sent to us bragging about how you can't be found. How no matter if we send anybody to your door, or we basically prosecute you in any way of committing any types of crimes, you can't be touched. So, challenge accepted for them at the end of the day, because they're definitely going to track you now. And it's going to be noted. Because I was talking to somebody who said, oh, really? I said, yeah, really. That's the statement he made. That's just in the email. Am I lying about it? It's in the email. You said, good luck trying to find anybody, find me. I ain't got no paperwork. I don't exist. All right, then. Guess what? That's a challenge. They're going to take it as a challenge. Even the judge is going to look at it at the end of the day like, oh, you thought that you could do what you want to do. And, because you ain't got no documents or paperwork at the end of the day, you think you can, yeah. There you go. That's throwing it up in somebody's face at the end of the day. Well, I'll do whatever I want to do since I get to the United States. That's why I don't understand how you got subscribers on your channel. Because there's people on your channel just literally, you knew this guy was doing all this dirt at the end of the day. You supported this nonsense? You supported this nonsense. The AI Overview has literally put this man on blast of being a professional scammer, and you supported this nonsense? Oh, yeah, definitely. This is why they nickname you guys sheep. Because you guys are in a cult. We follow anything he says at the end of the day. You are sheep. Or your cult leader is about to be deported, or basically he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail. Either way, it's going to happen. And you all look like idiots. Because again, you followed somebody at the end of the day. We warned you and told you at the end of the day, this guy was a professional scammer. And AI Overview literally said it. He's a professional scammer. Accused by other customers, not just us, customers with an S. Of basically his paints being fraudulent. Because there was a lot of people complaining about his products. His products were nothing more than house paint. You think people are stupid? People are going out. That's why I told you about the network rate 773 that went down. He wasn't doing it. He wasn't doing it for 6 months. You know what his customers were doing? They were going over to Home Depot and they were buying it. They're going to Sherwin-Williams. They're going to Sherwin-Williams. They were buying it. Get it from Sherwin-Williams. They were buying it. They were doing the test themselves. And then an argument broke out with his customers and him. He sat there and said on camera and said, I'm doing it because my customers are pressuring me. Yeah, they pressured him. But they did it themselves and they found that it was a match. And here's the thing about it. When we did the demonstration, we did 3 of his screen paints. He only did 1. What happened to the other 2? And those 3 screen paints all matched each other. Again, I don't like to say anything on the channel. Let's actually back it up. We did the test already. We did it right here.
About certified real quick. I'm gonna have to basically hold off on doing certified things at the end of the day. Like I said, be a little iffy at the end of the day. So we're gonna have to basically contact some of these companies and see what their guidelines are, like real serious guidelines are for size. Can't do side by side, but we're gonna be checking all that. So then I'm gonna hold off on certified things. By Sherman Williams, picked up a gallon of this. Around $23. This is called Network Gray. Got a couple words coming in.
That cost me $22. $22. And here we got the personal mix, Metallica mix, and in the box over there was sent to us by a customer who was upset by how Crow treated us. Can't say all his followers. Some of them actually deal with that entertain that shenanigans, but he was a kind of customer. He thought that, if you make a deal with a man, you keep that deal. And he was very disgusted by Crow's practices when Jamie sent us a container of black paint with a hole in it. So he didn't like that. We got our money back, but still, he didn't like that. So he gave us his.
And this is an SW, I think it's 770. So, I'm curious to see if I paint this on here. We're not looking for a match.
Now, you hear me said, we're not looking for a match. We want to see how close it matches this product.
Looking to see how close we come to matching the paint. As I said before, we get to these demonstrations themselves. I will put down my demonstrations on my products with black paint, black fabric, and put it down to go down to the screen. We've done this test already before. As a matter of fact, the screen paint will come in handy for test outside. Sure, this day the great products are basically.
Yeah, God, we do. What did I say, Jamie? Listen.
This is not going to go well. Look at that right there.
See, Jamie, the difference between you and me is I've been developing great paints before you existed on your YouTube channel. I also made more money than you on my product than you do right now. Well, you don't making products. My Digital One site went down because we changed over to another provider, which was Wix. So I transferred my name from over there, but then decided to change my company because I was developing black technology. In between that time, I had a global contract attached to my great screen paints, which they did try to take. That's how good my product was. Which basically I got out of my contract because, unlike you, I can make multiple different forms of technology, and you can't. You're just stuck with the same old stuff. Which means I changed over from light over to dark technology, which means obsoleted my contract, got me out of my contract from these guys trying to take from me, and got all the beta testers to test the darker technology, which is digital 4K crystal onyx versus the old paint, and got out of my contract because nobody wanted the stuff after the new stuff took over. God was blessed me to be smart enough not to sign my name on the contract. Only signed my company's name. So they had access to my company's name. When they tried to take me to court and try to say at the end of the day that they had rights to the blacker technology, they didn't, because the name of the company was on there, not my name. See how God protects his people at the end of the day? Even I didn't notice that when I wrote my name and I wrote the company's name instead. God watches over his people. But anyway, that being said, that's how the black technology was born. Right around the time we're designing the gunmetal, close to them, like not quite dark yet, D4K, on that road right there, and that's how we bumped into diamond. See, my technology all connects. Even got documents and emails from Screen Innovation saying my product had potential. When you got a person sitting in a dark apartment at the end of the day and doesn't even make proper screen paint, yet I got big companies in the day that recognize my technology over yours. Good luck in court.
That's not good at all.
That paint is the exact.
No black, no
exact.
nothing. That's not a good sign.
You know what makes the network grade 773 so dangerous? There's nothing in it. Nothing. The toning is absolutely perfect. So Fernando, I'm an expert in great paints. You're not. I can pop the top of a lid and tell that this is going to take your product out. Was I wrong? Now, mind you, when the customer sent us over the paint, Fernando went in this huge fit and said at the end of the day, oh, that's impossible. No one of my customers would ever do anything like that. Blah, 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 blah. I met a lot of your customers. They don't like you, by the way. You ripped them off. But anyway, he screamed and carried on his camera. He just made that up. He made the product, this and that. That's not my product. It would never match. That's what you said, right? What happened? You matched. You matched so badly that you turned around and you deleted the video off your account because I got it recorded if you deleted the video off your account. Phony.
That's actually a perfect color right there. All right. We don't have to help on this one. Today is not going to be well, no.
That can go well for you, man. And that's just in the video. Thank God I don't make gray paint anymore. You know how dangerous that network grade 773? That stuff is really lethally dangerous. That stuff could match out of 100%. Well, roughly could match 99% of the screen paint today, even projection screens. That stuff is dangerous. Now here we have in the video, you'll see that's the screen we painted with network grade 773. This is our black technology right here. And in the demonstration, if you notice here, with a little video shot in here to show you, our screen picks up a better contrast level in a fully lit environment where the gray screen doesn't read correctly. Now let's show you the sample areas we have against the screen. We have here 3 of your screen paints. We have over here the Cinemax mix. We have over here Cinemax, Personal mix, and Metallica mix. They all matched each other in our test versus the network gray, which means all 3 of the screen paints all match network grade 773 in our test. All his paints match network grade 773. We were able to make his product, and we made the rest of his product, the UV and Frankenstein. We made that by watching a tutorial video. You know, 2 tablespoons, but in that one, he used it called the reversal. Anytime you're making a dark mix, you never take white and then put black into it. It'll take forever. You put like 9-10 scoops of black to get it right. It's a reversal. It's opposite. You use the black as the base and you put white paint in it. That's how you change it to gray. It took 5 to get the UV mix. It took 6 to get the Frankenstein. But your paint matched, Jamie. It matched. 3 of them. How many did you do in your demonstration? Oh, you just did 1, right? How can you do the other 2? Oh, because you know what? At the end of the day, he would never do that. Off camera, he did it. So, pretty much.
Yeah, they laugh at y'all. At the end of the day, come on.
Yeah, people laughing at you, customers. You guys got ripped off, man. You got ripped off.
Color red.
You can't even read the color red correctly. Oh, look at that. See? You can't even read the color red. So that means that all 3 of your screen paints match network grade 773 at $20 a gallon. And there's the product right there when he did it. And there's where we did the test demonstrations. We actually made this, the UV mix, we made the Metallica mix, we made all of that using the black and white mixture. That means all his products were all made out of black and white paint. That's it. That's why AI talks about how multiple customers complain because they did the same test themselves because he refused to do it and found out that they purchased nothing more than overfried, glorified house paint. That's what you purchase. Now, keep in mind that those of you who went out and made these malicious demonstrations about my products being a scam, we'll see you in court. You won't win it. Trust me. You're going to get destroyed in court. So you know that you're getting destroyed. Him, on the other hand, well, he's going to be gone pretty soon. And the rest of you, well, your information sitting on a PayPal account. Wherever this guy lands at, he's got a lot of leverage to get a pretty good lifestyle over there because he has your identifications in that account. And as you can see, still your identity. People can put all kinds of stuff under your name. You got your account. You got all your information. And if he gets the right person in there who knows what they're doing, they can get access to that financial situation too. So my stuff is blocked. Not to some of those guys in there. A guy at the end of the day, a good computer hacker at the end of the day will get access to all that with no time at all. The problem is getting through the actual account through PayPal. That's a problem. That encryption coding is a nightmare to go through. I know I had somebody try to hack mine and see exactly at the end of the day how hard it was to get through one of them. But if you actually have access already in, then you're good. It's a different story, you know. If you're trying to crack a safe, you're going to need all types of stuff to get through a safe. If the door's already open, then, you know, it's easier. Way easier. Take what you want. And if your guy gets it to the right person, you're in a heck of a lot of trouble. This is what happens when I tell you, you got to do your research on people at the end of the day. And y'all thought we were the thieves and the robbers at the end of the day. Isn't that interesting how life is like that? The one person that's telling you over and over again that not to watch this guy is the real deal. And the one that actually says he's a real deal is the thief. Well, that's life. That being said, good luck on all that. I hope you get through it. Oh, I hope you do. I hope you get a lawyer to get that stuff cleaned up. It is going to be expensive, by the way, just to clean up something that you pay $60 to $90 for. You know it's going to cost you a lot of money to get an attorney to get that cleaned up. The PayPal, on the other hand, is not going to believe you. And you can't use our stuff at the end of the day because we forbid you. Don't touch any of my stuff at the end of the day. Evans, no, we won't vouch for jack for you. That's your problem at the end of the day. We warned you. We told you what this guy was about. You have to figure out something else. And you can't report him to the police because at the end of the day, if you do that, they're just going to pinch him. They're going to throw him in jail, which means he's going to be deported. So technically, your name is still going to be up there. You're just going to give him a faster process from A to B with your information. Well, that's pretty much it. So you're probably asking at the end of the day, well, when you retire, what are you going to do? Our account's going to be dissolved. We can get an attorney to go in and dissolve it on the other end. So nobody gets access to nothing. All that information is going to be dissolved. That's the company continues on long after I die. Other than that, most likely everything will be dissolved. I'm very, 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 very protective over my customers' information. Even when I go to the post office, your packages are not exposed. There's a piece of paper over top of all the packages that go out. So when we go to the post office, some people have a package out and open so somebody can look over and see your address. No, not on our stuff. It's a piece of paper over every single one of them. We get to the front, we just take it off. So your address is protected. Ah, you didn't know that about it, did you? Well, now you do. Very, very protective of our customer. Hey, we pay for shipping and everything else. We pay for packaging and all that stuff to make sure your stuff gets there. Pay for express shipping. I think we would take the time to go in and cover up your address and nobody knows where you're at. Only you. With that being said, hope you enjoyed. Thank you for your time. I got to go and God bless. Fernando, we'll see you in court. Got to go.